Good evening everyone, welcome to a new video of the Rect Show. Yesterday we did a live stream and unfortunately we couldn't chart all the coins given that TradingView wasn't working appropriately, which means that I'll be discussing a few of the requests of yesterday in today's video, which are reserve rights, VeChain and COTI. But first I'd like to discuss a little bit about Bitcoin and my current view on the markets. And a little bit about crude oil and Brent oil. At the moment I'm not seeing many bullish perspectives on the markets, as we have seen that we are falling over or rolling over. The market has made a pretty nice high around 7.4. After that we made a lower high at 7.3, and what you can see in the chart is that we've just been flipping levels, rejecting previous support levels, and now confirming them as resistance, which means that there is likely more downside to come to the markets. As you can see, 7.2 was tested, the yearly level, rejected. After that 7.1 was tested, rejected. After that we are now currently facing 6.9 as resistance, while we are holding the other level at 6.8 and pretty much stuck in between levels. What you see here is still my my main scenario. We could see a wick going towards like 6.950 or 6.960, but if we don't get a daily close above 6.9 and maybe even not above 7k, I'm assuming that we're going to fall further downwards, especially given that 6.8 has been tested so many times. There's pretty much bearishness on the equity markets as well, and given that Bitcoin is still a speculative asset, I'm assuming that everything is going to correlation close to 1 and that we're going to fall over as well. So if we get here and we just grind up in a slow pace, I'm assuming that we are just doing a bearish retest here and that we're just falling down. Am I expecting the markets to hold on to 6.6? No. Why? I'm expecting the markets to tap the liquidity below the lows here, and we've been testing 6.6 quite so many times right now, so I'm assuming that the drop down will actually be towards the weekly level or monthly support over here, and probably a wick towards like even 6.2. So I'm still short unless I get other signals from the market. I'm also not exposing myself too much to crypto at the moment, as I just do not believe that there is any bullish case. Yes, there is the halving, but we have been discussing that many times before, that short term the halving is just a non-event, and there is still a chance that there is a buy the rumor sell the news concept in which we just tumble over and drop down going around the halving. So there's just not much to be bullish about. I would become bullish if we get a higher time frame close around 6.9, or even preferably above the weekly close, but above 6.9 would make me feel a little bit more bullish, in which I might be punting some longs and for sure sell my or close my shorts. At the moment I'm just feeling fine with the shorts, and I'm just expecting the markets to test lower levels. Especially if you check the higher time frames, you can see that it looks like we are just falling over, in which if we are not getting above like 7k in the next few days, we are in for a new low. The structure upwards was designed by higher lows, higher highs. Right now we made a lower high, and this can be confirmed by a further downwards move, in which I'm assuming that the drop down will even be towards maybe 5.8 or something like what I've pointed out in the graph. A further drop down to 6.2 and then acceleration towards like 4.8, 4.4 to confirm a bottom structure and get something like we've seen over here or over here. In which we are getting into an accumulation phase. Could also be a structure like this, in which we are not making new lows. I'm not calling for new lows, but I'm expecting the markets to at least have some downwards pressure and test lower levels for confirmation before we can get a grind upwards. A similar view is given by Ethereum at the moment. I lost a level Currently rejected the previous support or previous resistance and support at 173. A clear reclaim of 173 would make me bullish for any movements towards 190, 192. But as long as we reject here and we turn down and have a decreasing amount of volume, I'm assuming we're going to test the weekly level at 158, which we just turn south, and then I'll be reevaluating my position. Then there's the question about Ether BTC, in which we have seen that made a nice rally upwards. Yes, we have seen that before. I mean, we have seen it over here in the structure as well. For now, there's still a lower high, which could indicate overall it's not looking too bad. I have to say that. But if we make a lower high here again, lower high, I'm assuming that we are not getting above these resistance levels here, and there are many over here. I'm assuming that we're going to tumble back down and get some more tests going before we can actually start rallying. Yes, I'm really bullish about Ethereum long term, but for now I'm just seeking to find a new opportunity to step in, and especially if we are rejecting here and falling over, then I'd be glad by not having Ethereum and just be waiting until Bitcoin bottoms out. Then the few requests we have before we are going to end with Crude Oil. The first request was reserve rights, which has seen a pretty nice rally upwards. I don't know why, probably news. After that it crashed, flipped the previous level of resistance for support, bounced back up, rejected at a daily level, even pumped even higher, and now it's stuck in a range. The level that has to hold is the weekly level here, but I have to say that it's not looking too strong. If we lose the weekly level, I'm definitely going to watch for the area over here between 25 and 28 Satoshi. If that doesn't hold, then I'm going to watch for 20 and 22 Satoshis. The usual thing you will see with these pumps is that they make one pump up and then it's just dying down until the next pump happens. So I'm not a big fan of buying these alts around these mid levels. I'll just be waiting until we get towards the lows back again, which you have also seen on Veracity, which just has pumps, then it's a full retrace, and then you can just buy back into the buy range before it makes a renewed pump back up. And these rallies are pretty heavy if you are in them. Then the next one is VeChain, in which I've been charting it a few times already. Nice rally upwards, bearish divergence indicating that there is a reversal. A similar bearish divergence could be applied on ChainLink at the moment. After that, lower highs and still a lower high here, indicating that the trend is still down. Same concept is applied here as on reserve rights. I'm not a huge fan of buying mid-range or in the middle of such a surge upwards. The level that I'll be watching first is the monthly open at 48 Satoshi. I'm also watching whether we can flip the levels over here around 61, 65. If we do, then there's an opportunity towards 80 Satoshi. But further, I'm just expecting this rally to be a weak rally upwards to just test the previous support for resistance, in which we tumble back down, and then I'm going to watch the monthly level over here, or maybe even the weekly order block, or the daily order block here, and the weekly level around 40 Satoshi. If that holds, then we are probably ready for a new move later this year, and then you can easily just do a 3x on VeChain as well. And then the final one before we go towards oil is COTI. I've been missing all the trades on this one, but we've rejected at the weekly resistance and daily resistance level over here, as you've seen. Drop back down towards the support, now rejected at this order block over here. A little bit stuck. If we continue to range in this area, we might see a renewed push up. But overall, I'm just expecting this whole push to be a bearish retest, in which I'm going to watch the area over here. And after that, I'm back again going to watch 220, 230. If I get such an opportunity in the next month, I'll be probably longing it. At the moment, I'm also not seeing any opportunity in COTI. We could see a new rally towards like 308, 306, but it's just not providing a great RR trade at the moment, especially given the market sentiment with Bitcoin and Ethereum at the moment. So that's the few requests we had to discuss. ChainLink is discussed in the article. If you've not seen it, please go to What's Cointelegraph. I've just posted it there. There's a suspicious bearish divergence, as you can see, in some sort of distribution pattern into a daily resistance level, alongside with a volume decrease, which makes this pump a little bit weak. We could see a renewed rally up, but if we lose the green zone over here, like something like this, then I'm assuming we're going to fall further down. Do we hold green and break red clearly with the daily time frame close and volume increase? I'm assuming we're going to rally further. But at the moment, this is just not a long entry at all. It's looking more likely that we're going to retrace further down, rather than that we're going to rally towards new highs. US dollar pair is also showing the same as on Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's just barely holding support from the previous high on the 4 hour, as you can see. That's just holding right now. If we get below that level, then there's only a few levels that you should watch. I will just do it with the normal color scheme we have. I think we're just gonna smash through that level, and the first levels you should be watching are 295 and 273, but there's still a gap and level to be tested around 220. So if we can't get above like 360, 365, I'm assuming we're going to tumble further down, and there's still a bearish divergence. Plus it's acting inside resistance, so if we tumble down, then this one is gonna fall hard. And then I'll be looking for new entries as well. If we break above 380, then we can test 410, but it's all depending on the volume, as you can see. Then the final thing I'd like to discuss is that I've had a ton of questions about whether I should buy oil. First of all, don't buy any assets that you are not familiar with, and if you do not understand the underlying fundamentals of an asset, then you should not be investing or trading in it at all. Oil crashed down yesterday because of the May contracts expiring, which means that people have to physically buy oil and store them. At the moment, storage is everywhere full. The demand just dried up for oil, which means that there's still a supply, and supply is increasing as there is still overproduction. But given that there's just no demand because of all the lockdowns and all the planes that are just on, or just economies that are just being disrupted right now, means that nobody's going to hold these oil barrels in their storage, which means that the price crashed down. Does that mean that you have to buy oil right now? No, because the new expiration date for Brent, the other oil version, is going to be in 7 days. So we could expect the exact same to occur on the 28th of April or 29th of April. And what you see today is that the price of oil on the June contracts actually tumbled down by 49% as well. Which means that the next contracts can also just go down to minus $40 if so, or towards zero or whatever. If something is cheap, doesn't mean that it's going to be a great investment. It's just that there's no demand for the current asset and there's still overproduction. So I've got many questions from people saying, "Oh, should I buy oil right now?" These type of assets you really only want to invest in if they show a longer time frame, bottom structure, and not when these type of shit happens. So I'll just be waiting it out until we can see any clear confirmation of a bottom structure on oil, and when the economy is just settling down and we have received the bottom on the equity markets. That should be a sign to long this asset. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow or the next day after tomorrow with a new video.